Welcome. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us at the end of what I'm sure has been a very busy day. I would like to welcome you to the New Year, New Me digital event. This is the second in our wellbeing series, hosted by the CMI Wales Board. My name is Kath Austin. I'm the chair of the Welsh Board, and I'll shortly be handing over to Jessica Edwards from Sarsen to begin today's event. Firstly, in terms of a couple of bits of house admin, if you have any questions during the digital event, you can ask them using the live chat box on the right of your screen. We're going to be collecting your questions and making a record of them for our fourth session, where we're going to be doing a panel interview with some of our contributors from the series, and also pulling together a big Q&A session at the end of that with all of the questions and queries that you might have had. So please do post questions that you might have during the course of today's event. Today's session is being recorded and will be shared with you later for those that book to attend, and the event recording will also be available on the CMI website and the CMI YouTube channel. Now I'm going to hand you over to Jessica Edwards, the Light Experience Lead at Sarsen, to begin the event and give us a bit more introduction about the content we're going to experience this evening. Over to you, Jess.
Thanks so much, Kath, and it's great to be here. And before I launch into setting context, I'd like to invite us all to arrive in the space together. Now, as Kath alluded to, I'm sure everyone's come from a busy day. So I'm going to do a little bit of breathing with us to just land us in the space. So first of all, I'm going to invite you to sit comfortably in your chair with both feet on the floor and allow both your hands to rest comfortably in your lap. Maybe just have a little wriggle out of the shoulders and the spine just to make sure you're really landing in your chair. And if you feel comfortable, close your eyes. I'm going to close mine. And we're just going to do a little bit of breathing together. And this breathing process that I'm going to talk you through is a really relaxing breath that you can use anytime. It's really, really simple, and I'm going to talk you through it. So to begin with, I'd like you to just become aware of your breath. Just feeling the breath moving in and out of the nose. Just noticing that it's a little cooler as it goes in and a little warmer as it comes out. And just noticing where that breath is sitting in your body today. And it's something, if you've come last week, you might have noticed me saying before, to not judge that breath, not try and change it yet, but just notice where it's sitting. Be curious about where your breath is. Is it shallow or deep, light or heavy, easeful or a little more challenging for whatever reason? Just becoming aware of that breath. And the breathing we're going to do together is a really simple technique called the 4-7-8 technique. I'm going to invite you to breathe in together for a count of 4, hold for a count of 7, and breathe out for a count of 8. And don't worry, I'll be counting you through all the way. Sometimes it can be a little bit confronting to hold our breath. We're not used to it in everyday life. But sometimes you'll notice you do end up doing it without realizing, when you're a bit stressed, when you're hanging on to something. So this is just an invitation to lean into that feeling of controlled breath. And as we elongate the exhale, it's a real relaxant to the whole nervous system. So it's inviting you to land, to ground, to calm. So let's give that a go now together. So inhaling, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, hold, exhale. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. And now just let go of that structured breath and allow the breath to come and go at the rhythm that suits you, inhaling and exhaling. And just as we did before doing that structured breath, just get a little bit curious about how you feel differently in your body. Do you feel stiller or more energized? Do you feel tenser, more relaxed? Do you feel more closely arrived in the space? How do you feel? Try and put a word to it. Notice, get curious about what's going on inside. When we make these small, simple physiological changes, always helps to tune in and become aware of the effect that they're having. We'll just take a few more breaths in this still, aware state, tuning into ourselves, taking this 5 minutes to notice where we're at. So rare that we get the opportunity to do that in this busy world. And then when you're ready, just take a nice deep breath in. Feel that air, that energy coming into your body. And as you exhale, blinking open the eyes again, coming back to the visual world, coming back to this space we're in together. Maybe just taking a little look around the room that you're in to help yourself land back in the physical world. Maybe taking a look at the sky if you've got a window near you. Just tuning back into where we are together. Lovely. I hope that was a relaxing experience for you. Thank you for joining me on that if you did at home. And I hope if it was useful, it might be something that you could take into your teams, maybe as a way to start a meeting. It's so simple and so effective. There's a lot of scientific research that shows it really does have a profound effect on the calming of the nervous system. So it's a really useful tool to have in your back pocket. Now, as Kath said, I'm just going to talk a little bit about why we're here today. And we're going to be sharing with you the work of an incredible practitioner called Chris Connors. He's a meditation teacher, expert, and he's going to give us a little bit of an introduction to him and his journey with the practice, his personal journey, how he found meditation and how it fits into his life now. And then we're going to watch a longer video in which Chris will actually take you through a meditation practice. So you have the opportunity to try that out for yourselves at home. So before we play the video, I'd love to just give you a little bit more context on what happened last week and tell you a little bit about me and who I am and Sarsen. So last week we got together to kick off this wellbeing series. And myself and my colleague Simon from Sarsen, we're developing a kind of a consciousness and wellbeing program to help people feel more accessible to consciousness and to fit it into their everyday lives. And my personal background, I'm a theatre director and writer, and I have a special interest in facilitation and how to hold safe spaces for people, both at work and in their personal lives. So that's a little bit of background about who I am. But now, without further ado, let's hear something from Chris Connors, an introduction to his practice.
Well, I'm Chris and I'm a meditation teacher. I've been teaching and practicing meditation for 20 years. and it has been the bedrock of my life. You can maybe hear from my accent that I come from Belfast, and I grew up in a city which was in deep conflict. I was caught in war and lived in a place which was complete with institutional fear. So I lived in a very particular mental state: anxiety, heightened alertness, awareness, but also I didn't realize at the time you're living in a deep, deep stress. When I was young, I was caught on a bomb with my father, and I was thrown across the street with him. And I woke up from that moment, and I discovered that I was breathing. I was alive. And that moment, I realized something fundamentally had shifted in me. Fast forward to the death of my mother. When she died, I was 25 years old. She ran out of breath. And with that, I had an inescapable amount of grief. I decided to go into a therapeutic process for grief. And my teacher was a meditation teacher. And she sent me off to India. And then I went to Japan and China because I started to fall in love with this work. I was like, what is this? And I just became completely and utterly dedicated and obsessed a little because I was feeling so well. It was deeply helping me through all these different types of experiences and periods. The first thing that I'd always say is meditation is a training. It's not just something that you sort of actively can or can't do. You got to dedicate time. You got to put in the hours to understand what it is and how it can benefit you. So it's a training. And it's a training actually also of the mind. Because if you think about it, our mind is really deeply untrained. We don't have any sort of sense of what way the mind works or how it could actually do its best for us. The more that I discovered meditation, the more I was able to really discipline my mind, to get it into a place where actually I felt there was a deeper control maybe, or a lack of control maybe, but it was a way of being able to be really okay with it. And it's the relationship with the mind that matters. So whenever I talk to someone about what is meditation, it's a training. It's a training of the mind. It's a tool you can use every day, but it's also a life practice and a life perspective. And what that means is it helps you shift the way you see the world. That is meditation. It's a shift of the way you see the world. The outcome of meditation is always to find a way to be more relaxed and more alert. Because when you're relaxed and alert at the same time, it offers an entry into what we call the present state, a deeper presence, a deeper connection with life. And you could say that presence is an absence of future and past. You could say that it's just here. All that's happening for me right now as I'm talking. I'm here. I'm in this room, this beautiful place, looking out to the autumn leaves. There's nothing going on except that. That really is the simplicity around what is presence. But for me, it's also a way of expanding into this moment to see what you don't see. Because when you're present, the unseen becomes. Isn't that beautiful? You're not caught in your to-do list of the future, the stresses of the past, the regrets. You are just here seeing everything come. And to me, that's a kind of theater of life. It's a passion of mine. Why not have that in your life? If you're stressed, if you're full, it's very, very difficult to think your way out of stress. It's impossible, right? You've got to get out of your own way. You've got to find a method or a place or a technique like meditation to get you back into some kind of balance and center. Thinking will never work. Thinking creates more thinking. That's all it does. It's a wonderful thing, but why not have some other tool that actually helps you land here right now? Your body, your space, your attention, your awareness. That's what we need. So getting out of your way means to not allow your thoughts to run riot. So for me, finding presence and living in a more sustained way of life has brought deep happiness and contentment with every single moment that I experience. Now, sometimes that goes off, of course, we're just human beings. But with practice and with this work, I've been able to find a way to feel fully satisfied, content with life the way it is.
So that was just a little bit from the brilliant Chris Connors. And hopefully that sparked your interest a little bit. I know some people on this call will have done some meditation before, but perhaps also it might be completely new to you. And the practice video that we're going to experience now will be about half an hour. And Chris will take you through a couple of different techniques and practices. So if you're sitting in the first one and thinking, "Oh, I don't know if this is for me," I invite you to give it a go, retain an open mind, and see what it does. And get, as we did in the initial breath work that we did, that brief breathing exercise that we did at the beginning of this session. Try to be curious about what's happening as you go through the practice. And as I say, there'll be just 3 different meditation exercises that Chris will talk you through. You can do it sitting in front of your machine. You can sit down on the floor, lie on the floor, whatever makes you feel most comfortable. There's no right way to do meditation. It's whatever works for you. So now, without further ado, once more, let's go back to Chris.
Welcome to this meditation session. I'm sure many of you have heard of meditation or may be practicing, and I would like to tell you how important meditation can be in your life. It is a practice, but it's also a tool for self-regulation, and what that means is that you can really deeply help yourself by using this practice every day. It alleviates stress, alleviates the sense of anxiety, deep sense of connection to the world around you. It's a tool for life. Meditation is not only a practice that belongs to a certain amount of people, it is for everyone to use. So what I'd invite you to do first is to take one deep breath as a way of engaging, going deeper down into the body, to just relax. Throughout this session, we're going to be focusing on breath and body, just some simple movements, some simple actions that are going to guide you through this time. So, find a way to sit comfortably, relax your body, take a deep breath again. The first session that we're going to do will be some simple breath work. It will allow you to come back into your body, back to breath, to connect with the present state. And when I say the present state, what I really mean is that our thoughts begin to relax, our whole body begins to relax. We get the sensation that we are here and that we're more alive. The second session will be bringing in a little more rigor, a bit more breath work, a bit more focus, a bit more attention. And then in the third session, we're going to activate a little bit more through movement in our body as another way to discover what type of meditation might work for me. Let's all take a deep breath. What I'd like you to do now is I'd like you to focus your attention on an object in the room around you. Now, that might be the laptop in front of you, it might be something on the wall, but just focus your attention on an object right now. Take 3 deep breaths with this object. Just getting a sense of its texture, color, shape, as a way of grounding yourself in the room, being here, being present in this space. And then turn to another object in the room. Again, 3 deep breaths, noticing shape, color, texture. And then just come back to center, relax your breathing, and then just slowly begin to close your eyes. noticing your breath, noticing thoughts. When we close our eyes, we're opening up into our inner world. Just keep actively breathing here. Thoughts drifting in, thoughts drifting by. In meditation, always find a way to include your thinking in your experience, noticing your relationship with it. So actively breathing here, noticing thoughts. And then thirdly, begin to relax and adjust your posture so you feel comfortable and alert. The key in meditation is that you feel comfortable. Just noticing here as we become more present to our inner state. Now take another deep breath in, expanding the belly. Again, noticing what happens when you actively breathe, bringing more oxygen through the nostrils, deep down into the belly. This time bringing the air out through the mouth, so breathing in through the nose, deep down into the belly, and back out through the mouth. A circular form of breathing in our body, giving ourselves momentum of breath. Now keep continuing with that. Actively breathing through the nose, noticing the air move through the tip of the nostrils, through the back of the throat, down through the upper chest, the belly, and reaching a turning point as you move back out, up through the body and out through the mouth. Now relax your shoulders, maybe bring them back a little so your posture feels more upright and alert. This grounding meditation, a way in to being with this present moment now. Thoughts drifting in, breath through the nose and out through the mouth, relaxing the body. Now, bring all the attention to the top of your head, so the crown of your head. Running down through the forehead, resting between the eyebrows here, often what we call our intuitive center. Then down through the tip of the nose, the mouth, the chin, the throat, the heart area, the rib cage, the belly, the pelvic area of the body. And then down where your body is touching the seat to the floor, then traveling back up from where your body is touching the seat or the floor, into the pelvic area, into the belly, the top of the rib cage, the heart, the throat, the chin, the mouth, to the tip of the nose, resting in the forehead here between the eyebrows, through the brain and up to the crown of the head. Noticing those points through the body, feeling the length of your breathing and out. Breathing deeply and intentionally through the body. And then slowly begin to open your eyes, looking down at the floor or the desk or the laptop. Look over to the object. Just take a breath with the object. Just getting a sense of connection with the room. And looking back to the second object. Just getting a simple connection with where you are right now. And then just coming back to center. You know, what's fascinating in this practice is that the more you search for stillness, the more you start to connect with noise. The noise of the mind, the noise within the body, the noise around us. You can hear a voice, a car, someone drilling, someone moving, especially here in the city. City life is full of noise. What I encourage you to do is to continuously find stillness within the noise, not away from it. We're not on a mountaintop in life. Sometimes we wish we were, but we're not. We're here right now in the heart of the beating city. What I encourage you to do is keep finding that place within so that you can be free and engage and accept everything that's going on around you. It's okay. That's the same with the mind, with our thoughts. To find stillness within the mind is finding ways to fully accept it, to be here, alive with it all. Full acceptance. That's the meditative way. In this session, we're going to look at how can we bring more attention into the field of awareness when we're meditating. And what that means is, how can our mind become more present to what is really going on right now and here? So within this practice, I encourage you to keep your eyes open this time, and we're going to follow some rigorous practice within a meditative format. This is a good practice if you're feeling very full in your mind, if you're feeling full of thoughts, sometimes very distracted. It's a really good way to get your mind back into gear. So let's take a deep breath first in together, breathing in through the nostrils, deep down into the belly, activating our body here. Keep your eyes open. Keep attention here on the screen with me. Just breathing in through the nostrils, down into the belly. Just focusing ahead. Again, noticing what's happening in your thoughts, your feelings, your body. Just being with them, allowing them to be however they are right now. Keep actively breathing. Breathing in through the nostrils, down into the belly, and back out through the mouth. long, slow breathing here. Just finding that rhythm that suits you, that helps you relax. Now we're going to follow a practice called square breathing or box breathing. It's a really simple technique of using breath and holding breath. And all you need to do here is just follow me as we go. So, breathing in, 2, 3, 4, and now hold your breath, 2, 3, 4, now breathe out, 2, 3, 4, and hold your breath down, 2, 3, 4, and keep going, breathe in, 2, 3, 4, hold your breath, 2, 3, 4, breathe out, 2, 3, 4, hold your breath down, 2, 3, 4, breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4, breathe out, 2, 3, 4, hold down, 2, 3, 4, breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4, breathe out, 2, 3, 4, hold down, 2, 3, 4, breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4, breathe out, 2, 3, 4, hold down, 2, 3, 4. Now close your eyes for a moment and just breathe naturally, just noticing what's going on. Take a deep breath. Again, noticing thoughts, feelings, experiences in the body. Again, feeling the presence of our thoughts, whatever's going on, just allowing it to be there, feeling the presence of our breath, feeling the presence of our body. Just begin to gently open your eyes, come back to me here. So we're going to do a second one now. We're going to breathe in like we did before, hold, breathe out, and hold down. And this time I'm going to guide you through, and then I'm going to say by yourself. And so I invite you to carry on, to continue, to keep going, keep finding your way through this breath technique. One you can take away and use any time when you are feeling really deeply in your mind or too much in your brain. Okay, so let's go again. Breathe in through the nose, deep down into the belly, and back out through the mouth. Circular breathing. Just get yourself centered, body, mind, noticing where you are. And let's begin. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. Hold down, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, and hold down, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. Hold down, 2, 3, 4, and by yourself. And keep going. And on your last out breath, just begin to gently close your eyes. Let go of the square breathing. Again, just notice your thoughts, your feelings, your body, your breath. Feeling a bit more energy in the body right now. Noticing what happens when you move these different parts of you around. When you're shifting, more presence arises. Feel more alive. And just relax your breathing now. Relax your jaw, relax your body. Nothing to do, but just to relax and observe what's going on. And then just begin to gently open your eyes. Just looking down the floor beneath you, or whatever is in front of you, finding a way to acknowledge the experience that you've been through. Just noticing your thoughts, your feelings, sensations in the body. It's a way of coming back into your room as we end this meditation. So there are many ways to meditate, and all of them lead to the same direction of true presence, being here now, relaxed and alert. So in this session, we're going to look at how can you bring in elements of movement to the meditation practice. Some of you may be familiar with this, some of you may not. But know that movement is also a way to directly experience the present moment. So we're going to do this one with our eyes closed. But before we do, I'm going to show you the movements that we're looking at. Extremely simple movements. So with me, if you can just rest your hands on your knees, palms facing down. And then throughout the meditation, I am going to ask you to just turn your hands, palms facing up. And then rotating back, palms facing down. And the second movement is to raise your hands, palms facing up, little fingers touching, heart level. And then we're just going to extend our hands out in a circular motion, like so. And all the way back round to the heart. Now we're going to do this with our eyes closed. So just bear this in mind. There's nothing to get right or wrong in the movement, but just to feel the sensation of moving the body while we're engaging with breath, engaging with the meditation practice. So gently close your eyes, go into your inner world, and we begin. So just noticing your breath here, thoughts, feelings, sensations in the body, becoming aware, becoming more present to your breath, becoming more present to your thoughts, becoming more present to your body. Now, bringing air through the nostrils, deep down into the belly, and back out through the mouth, engaging with this breathing cycle. Now take 3 deep breaths, deepening, opening the diaphragm further down into the belly. Notice your posture, keep your spine upright and alert now. Rest your hands on each knee, palms facing down. Activating your breathing. actively breathing. Breathing in through the nose, down into the belly, and back out through the mouth. Thoughts drifting in, thoughts drifting by. Just allow them to be part of your experience. Just keep coming back to your breathing now. Now, slowly and surely, begin to turn your hands, palms facing up to the sky. Keep actively breathing, just noticing any sensations as you do so. Feeling an opening in the posture. Bring your shoulders back, heart open. Just noticing this posture. Just feeling presence as you do so. Presence to whatever you are experiencing right now. Whether your attention is on your thoughts, your body, your breath, just being here right now. So just begin to slowly and surely rotate your hands. So palms begin to rest on your knees, noticing the change of posture as you do so. Relax your shoulders, relax your breathing. Begin to gently lift your hands, turn your palms to face up to the sky, bringing your little fingers together up to the heart level of the body. So your hands are together, and then just begin to extend them outwards. So we begin a rotation of the arms. Extend them out as far as you can. Separate your hands. Moving around the body, feeling outwardly the circular motion, and then bringing your hands back to your heart. Just repeating this movement. Bringing your little fingers together, palms facing up. Moving outwards, extending. And as you extend out, really activating your breath now, deepening your breathing. Noticing the sensations as you move with this. And then just coming all the way back round to join your hands together, heart level. And then just spend some time here by yourself with this motion, extending the hands out, separating circular motion back to the heart. And then bring your hands finally round, palms facing up, heart level. Just take a breath here, acknowledging this posture, and then begin to slowly turn your hands. Bring them back down. Just slowly coming down and noticing movement in the body here and now. And just spend some time here to be present with your thoughts, present with your feelings, present with your body, present with the movement of breath. Just allowing it all to be here now. Whatever sensations you feel, allow them to be here, present, now. And then just begin to slowly and surely open your eyes. And just raise your hands. Start to begin to rub your hands here. Just bring some heat into the body. Some rigorous movement. Bring your hands up onto your eyes and just begin to rub the eyes. Using movement of the body to engage, awaken, massaging the temples, massaging the jaw, tapping the body. A way of acknowledging this session together. Back here and now. Just take a moment to acknowledge yourself for completing this experience. Acknowledging where you may have been before you came and started this meditation session, how you feel now. Just feeling your breath, your mind, your body, really acknowledging that presence that grows within us by just letting the mind go, by following the simplicity of this work. It's so simple. Our mind is complex, and what we're doing here is creating a meeting point so that our complex mind can drop through that point into something more simple in life. As you go back out into your life, may you find a way to acknowledge all that you experience with appreciation and simplicity, and living more and more in the present state, finding more present moments in your day. Go well.
Now, I hope that was illuminating and at the very least an interesting experience for you. I did the practice too there because I wanted to join with you, even though I know Chris well, and I've done it before, but I think it's a wonderful thing to remind yourself. I'd love to take a moment now to, again, get curious about that experience. So I'm going to invite Kath to join me here and just see if there are any questions or reflections that anybody would like to share.
Just one from me, actually, because I also participated in that event, and yeah, I do genuinely feel totally different now than I did half an hour ago. And again, it's amazing, isn't it, how such a short period of time can take you to a totally different place.
Absolutely. And I think it's remarkable, as just to allude to what Chris mentioned at the end there, how simple techniques can really shift your perspective, and allowing yourself to drop into the physical, to the breath and the physical body, can really change where your mind is at. I'd love to acknowledge now as well, and some of you may have picked up on this if you practice along with Chris, that last movement meditation. And we've called this meditation, but there's a lot of breath work in there, and that movement is a little bit like Tai Chi or Qigong. So I just want to acknowledge that a lot of these practices have been around for thousands and thousands of years across Asia and the East, and it's only sort of now we're catching up in the West with some of this ancient wisdom. So you may have come across it before in different forms.
And Jess, what was interesting through that, there's a couple of points in the video where I almost thought Chris was talking only to me, because he sort of caught me just as thoughts were drifting, or, you know, sort of a physical reaction that obviously must be greatly shared by people starting out on this.
Oh, I'm so pleased to hear that, Kath, because I've got a very similar experience. And I think there's something very powerful as well about that individual intimacy that you get from feeling like a practitioner is speaking directly to you. But I also love that this collective experience that we're having now. We all did that together in our own homes. And even though we're kind of displaced all over the world, there's an amazing connectedness alongside that individual intimacy, which I think is very exciting.
I mean, again, I'm going to watch it again and try and just almost repeat at certain times, because, you know, it's very effective, isn't it? And I think, like anything, the more you do it, the more it just becomes natural, and then you stop worrying about, am I doing it right? So.
Absolutely. And I hope for everyone watching that maybe there was one in particular of those three that spoke more to you, one that you found more effective. Certainly the box breathing, a little bit like the relaxant breath that we did at the beginning of this session. That's something that's so simple that you can just take forward into your everyday life if it spoke to you.
Also, I mean, from a practical perspective, I probably have to apologise to our audience, because when I first came on, I think that was a typical example of real life and work, in that you probably heard lots of pinging going on. And I mean, unfortunately, it's the common day thing of having multiple pieces of machinery going at you, and kind of daily interruptions. And again, sort of I'm making a mental note for next time to make sure that not just notifications on the phone are switched off, but the laptop and the tablet and so on.
It's so relatable though, isn't it? I think we can all understand that feeling of demands on our time and on our attention. And I think that's why practices like this, I think, are so important, because that allows you just to tune out, to take a moment that's just for yourself. And I think there's loads of research that has shown it lets you show up in the rest of your life so much more effectively. And I think it can sometimes be hard to, certainly I'm very busy. I'm a very busy person. And it can sometimes be hard to prioritize the time to do these practices. But I think it's such an important thing to invest in, because it just helps you show up so much better in the rest of your life.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's sort of recognizing the fact that sometimes multitasking doesn't save you time. So, we've got a question from Clive come in. He says, I really enjoy the techniques given by Chris. I noticed on energetic awareness beyond the body. What are your thoughts?
What a big question, Clive. I think it's really exciting that you felt that, because I think with all of the practices that allow us to engage with our consciousness, with our connection with ourselves in a different way, they often also have an energetic quality. And I think we are, in the modern day, particularly in the West, a little bit frightened of that sometimes. So I'd say when you notice something like that, just tune into it and see where it takes you. And something I'd also invite everyone to explore is maybe taking some time to note down stuff that comes up for you when you do a practice like this. So maybe taking 5 or 10 minutes afterwards to ask yourself, what came up for me there? And writing down by hand some of the energetic maybe or physical or physiological thoughts and feelings that came up, because I think that really helps tune in and notice what's going on. I wonder if we've got any other comments or questions coming up. We've got just 5 minutes left.
Anybody out there that wants to have the benefit of asking Jess any questions, as a definitely more expert in this field than I am, I'm very much on the starting first stage.
Well, I mean, to speak to that actually, Kath, I think something I find really exciting about this kind of inquiry into introspection, or like getting curious about what's going on inside your own body, inside your own brain. I think it's a journey that is never complete. Like the more I practice, I'm a very dedicated yoga practitioner, and I do some pieces of specific meditation for myself each day. But the more I explore, the more curious I become, and I find that hugely exciting, because it's kind of the opposite of our sort of outcomes focused, task focused way that we live our lives, isn't it? And I sort of don't think, oh, I need to tick that off, I complete it. I just feel more enriched the more that I do it, which is a really exciting thing.
Yeah, it's really interesting. We almost train ourselves out of thinking about the inside, don't we? We externalize everything, and everything is about the externalness of things.
But that, I think, Kath, that's also, it can be scary. I know for me, when I started out on this journey, I was a little bit frightened of spending time inside my own head, because we're so encouraged not to do that, and there's so few spaces where we're allowed to do that in this kind of busy working modern day. And I feel like a real outcome of the pandemic has been inviting people to spend more time in their own heads, which has been very confronting for some people, of course, for all of us. But I hope a real positive outcome is that we are more curious about ourselves, and we are more able to spend that time with ourselves.
Right. Got a lovely comment there from Ros. She's saying, I'm currently undergoing a vestibular rehabilitation therapy for balance problems. Sorry if I've mispronounced that. And I'm suffering from a loss of brain overload right now. This meditation really helped me clear my head. That's lovely.
I'm so pleased to hear that, Ros. That's really, really good news. We've only got a couple of minutes left, so I think I'll quickly give a bit of a trail for what to expect next week. So we've got the third of our 4 sessions, and we're going to be welcoming an amazing practitioner called Scilla Elworthy, who is actually a 3-time Nobel Peace Prize nominee, which is amazing. But she's going to be taking us through the practice of deep listening. And the first time I practiced with Scilla, I was so struck by, again, the simplicity of her techniques and the clarity with which she delivers them, but also how applicable they are with any relationship that you have at home, at work, in your community, with your friends and family. It's a really amazing session. So I really hope you'll be able to join us again for that next week.
Brilliant. Well, I'll definitely be there. We've also, just quickly before we close the session, we've had another comment from Anita, asking if she can get other sessions from Chris.
So if you Google Chris Connor's meditation, you'll find his website. And I know there are a number of free meditations that he's put on there, but that's how you'll find out some more. And be sure, I think he's on Instagram as well. So be sure to follow him on there, because I know he posts everything that he's doing there. He's a brilliant practitioner. So I'm delighted that people want to know more from him.
Brilliant. And stay with us for next week, because we're going to see some great experts coming through next week, and also our session 4. So please do stay with us.
Thanks so much for joining us, everybody. It's been a real pleasure to spend an hour in your company.
Brilliant. So just a quick reminder, we are on again next Thursday, same time. As Jess mentioned, we've got a different set of experts joining us with some more exercises. So we're going to learn a bit more on our journey. And again, if you do have questions, please do send them through to us, because on our session 4, we've got a bit more time to run through all of the questions that you sent to us. So please don't hold back. Send us questions, and we'll make sure that we get to them on our 4th session. I think all that's left to say is goodbye, and thank you very much for joining us, and look forward to seeing you next week, Thursday, 5 p.m.
Thanks very much, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good week. Bye-bye.